Good morning, my name is Inês Simões, and today I'm going to talk about questioning techniques. So before I begin, I'd like you to think about this. When was the last time that you actually asked a really good question that made someone stop and think? A famous quote by Naguib Mahfouz says that you can tell a person is clever by their answers, but you can tell they are wise by their questions. We often focus on finding the right answers, but rarely stop and actually think about the quality of the questions we ask. Yet, questioning lies at the heart of our communication, how we interact with others, and how we think critically. Whether in a classroom, a workplace, or a day to day conversation, the types of questions we ask can greatly influence the depth and direction of a conversation. So, what exactly do I mean by questioning techniques? In simple terms, questioning techniques refer to the different ways that questions can be used. They can be used to incite critical thinking, assess understanding, and stimulate discussion. They're not just about gathering information, they are a guiding tool to learning and communication. According to educational theorists like Benjamin Bloom and his book Taxonomy of Cognitive Domains, the types of questions that we ask directly influence the level of thinking that we provoke, from recalling basic ideas and facts to analyzing, evaluating, and creating new ideas. Similarly, the Socratic methods, which dates back to ancient Greece, uses well structured questions to lead people towards a deeper level of understanding and self discovery. In other words, questioning techniques are tools that shape how we think, learn, and interact. The right question can open up a conversation, inspire insights, or challenge assumptions, while the wrong one can simply shut it down. There are multiple types of questioning techniques, and I'm going to start by discussing closed questions. These are questions which require short answers, normally one word, and it's chosen from a set of possible answers. For example, the yes or no question, and also multiple choice questions. Normally, we use closed questions to save time and to get direct feedback. These types of questions normally include words like are, did, do, would, could, and some examples are: would you like to go camping? Did you mop the floor? And allow for much longer responses. They are a great way to get more information and details on a specific situation. So, when we ask an open question, it allows the respondents to share their feelings, knowledge, and opinion. And normally the answer is more qualitative rather than quantitative. You might choose this type of questioning technique if you want to learn more about why something happens, understand the circumstances of an event better, or simply listen to someone else's ideas. These types of questions usually include words like why, when, how, but tell me and describe can also be used in the same way. Some examples can be how did your weekend go? Or why did you go to the mall yesterday? Leading questions are those that guide the respondent towards a specific answer, normally one that is more favorable to the person that is asking. This questioning technique is normally used by sales representatives and marketeers since they can subtly influence the people's decisions and opinions. We need to use this questioning technique carefully since it can sometimes come across as manipulative or biased if not worded correctly. Another questioning technique is probing questions. These questions force the respondent to think more deeply about the information they recall for their answer. For example, if you use the word exactly in your question, it forces the respondent to be more specific. Talking a bit about funneling questions, These allow you to guide the conversation strategically in order to get more information on the respondent's answers. Normally, this technique involves asking a series of questions that either become more specific or more general at each step. Talking a bit about rhetorical questions, these are used for effect rather than to receive an actual answer. Normally, these questions are used to provoke thoughts, engage an audience's attention, and to emphasize the point. In many cases, the answer is either obvious or impossible to give, so the actual objective of these questions are to make the listener think, not to respond. We can't forget about one more very important aspect: silence. When you ask a question, you need to allow the other person time and space to actually think and respond. Questioning techniques aren't just useful in classrooms or in business meetings. They play a crucial role in leadership, activism, and global communication. A great example of this is Greta Thunberg. She is a very known climate activist that challenges world leaders on their environmental inaction. In many of her speeches, she uses rhetorical questions to provoke reflection and also a sense of urgency. Like her famous debate on the 2019 UN Climate Action Summit that I'm going to show you.
I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you?
She said, "You come to us, young people, for hope. How dare you?" This question doesn't really need an answer. It's designed to make the listener stop, think, and feel personally responsible. And even today, as we face extreme climate events, record breaking heat waves, and also debates over climate responsibility, our words still echo. It makes you wonder, though, right? If you were in that room, how would you have responded? We see these types of questioning techniques being used all over the world, even today, by young leaders and activists, from those demanding environmental justice to those asking for more transparency in AI and social media ethics. That's the power of effective questioning. It can move people to reflection, discussion, and ultimately to action. So let's see how questioning techniques actually shape our day to day interactions. I'm going to show you two clips of the same conversation, and I want you to notice how the questions change everything. What's wrong?
I don't know, I'm just tired, I guess.
Did you have another argument with your group?
Yeah, sort of.
Well, did you even tell them what was wrong?
I tried.
So you didn't explain it then?
Maybe. Just forget about it.
Hey, you seem a bit down today. What happened?
It's just work, no one's really listening.
Damn, that's rough. Why do you think they're not listening?
I guess everyone is focused on their own ideas.
Yeah, that's hard. What do you think could happen next time?
Maybe setting clear rules from the start.
That's a good idea. It might everyone feel heard. This short example shows how the way we frame our questions can completely change a conversation. In the first clip, we could see how the leading and closed questions made Martha feel disengaged or even defensive. Meanwhile, in the second clip, we could see how reflective and open questions helped her build trust and connection. So, this is the importance of effective questioning. It helps us connect, not just communicate. Hopefully, you've come to realize that questioning techniques are way more than just communication tools. They are instruments for understanding, learning, and change. Throughout this presentation, we were able to see that the way we frame our questions influence not only the kind of answers that we receive, but also the depth of thinking that we inspire. From daily conversations to climate activism, we can see how the questions that we make change the way that we connect with others and how we make sense of the world. So maybe the best way to end this presentation is not with an answer, but with a question. What kind of questions will you make next?